Good morning. Frankie's got his frog. Oh, look, he chewed a toe off. What? What? It is so cold and muddy outside. What? What? I don't even want to go outside. It's sunny, beautiful. The sky is gorgeous. Can't hardly believe it. Sit here so you can see Frankie. I just love him so much. I was ready to give him away the other day. It's like, take him. Take him. I'll give you $1. I'll give you $1. I would have sold him for $1. What? What? I wish you could see that face. What? I get caught up watching pet videos. I just think they're comforting. Especially when you can tell they're obviously videos of people who love their dogs as much as I do. What? Are you sneaking up on me? Are you sneaking up on me? What are you doing? What? Oh, he's been so cuddly all morning. Look at that tail. You know he's gonna. So did I tell you that we had the trees trimmed? They thinned out old branches that weren't doing well and branches that were just scraggly. So I guess that's the thing. It's not just trimming it off the top. It's, I don't know. I've never done maintenance on trees before. So it was kind of interesting. There was one big log I was concerned about because there's sort of a hole in there, but evidently they thought it was still alive enough to not deal with it. And thank goodness it doesn't go over a house, but it is a tall, big log, and I'm just concerned about it because it's also very tall, and it might, what if it accidentally fell the wrong way? You goofball. I have to put on some makeup. I was supposed to go to lunch with a new friend today. We've kind of seen each other at a group when I go to my AA meeting, but she had to cancel. I'm so sad. Oh well. Hopefully we can reschedule soon. I think everybody even if you're like me and you're just kind of, I'm not antisocial. I just am an introvert. And so, hi baby. Oh baby, thank you. I just don't, I just love being home. What is that? Yay! Good boy. Oh, if I didn't have that dog, I would be an emotional mess. I do. My video therapy. So I told you I've been having some repairs done around the house. They've just kind of gotten out of hand. So hard to find good help. So I'm trying not to take it out on the people that I have, just because I get into a panic. So, because I did pay this guy cash to help me with the landscaping out front. I paid for 300 pieces of monkey grass. Because it's so hard to grow things, I'm doing, well, you've seen me working on my monkey grass year after year out front. No! What? Oh no! And then I accidentally used weed and feed last year. No, it's a weed killer. I'm sorry, a weed killer. And I didn't realize that it would kill monkey grass. So all that work I went through, all those recovery days I went through, were for naught. And once I got done pouting, I decided I was going to set some money aside to just have it done. So I paid this guy for the monkey grass, and he delivered it, and then I didn't see him for 5 days. And I only sent him 2 text messages and 1 email. I think just 1 email. Asking him, or telling him that I had raked that area and I had placed the monkey grass. And then the email was, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Email or text message, and please let me know when you think you might come by again to work on our little project. Number 1, I thought maybe he was in an accident. Number 2, maybe he decided she paid me for the monkey grass, so I'm out of here. This ground is too hard, and it is. It's hard. It's like digging through a clay pot. That hard. He couldn't believe it himself. And then I thought maybe he took a long weekend with his girlfriend and his dogs. We had such a nice visit about him and his dogs. One of the things that happens is some of us can be overly gullible. Oh, here's some money. Thank you for giving me such a good deal. And ponytails bouncing around. And then do it again and again, and they not show up. Oh, this is light. I gotta quit buying such light makeup. Oh, that was loud. I hate it when he barks in the house. You have to stop, Frankie. Well, he hasn't had a whole lot of... Okay, he's not going to stop. I'm going to have to go get my... What is it? What is it? What? Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Poor guy. He sees these dogs every single day, and they just drive him nuts. Frankie, come on. Come on, jump. Come on, jump. Jump. Come on. Where's your toy? I don't know. He's too worked up to even listen to me. Wow, That might have been the wrong color when I put it on, but it's not too bad, you know what? So this darker color will probably blend well. So anyway, it goes from being super gullible, and here's the thing, I'm not stupid, but I can be, what's the word I used to get called all the time until I lost my temper. Gullible, I guess. And the thing was being, it was gullible and naive and lack of common sense. It's like, if that person would have said that to me, I would have known they were full of shit. It's like, I grew up programming my brain saying, oh, please let mom be honest this time. Oh, let her be sober this time. Let her come home this time. You know, and then it would turn into, I hope she was in a car wreck. God, why? Because I would have handled that better than knowing I wasn't worth her coming home. So when you have that narrow pathway over and over and over in your head, somehow every relationship, whether it's a sales relationship or a romantic relationship or a friendship, there's this cookie cutter programming in the brain. So if you have a friend who's had a lot of trauma, if you don't know that they're wigging out, but they tell you they do sometimes, believe them. Because we can be pretty good actors for a while, but then our tone, an accusation, something will happen. It's almost like being in a blackout drunk, where you look like you're normal, but the brain is going weird. And so you'll think, why are they saying that? Why are they responding that way? And it's not because they don't still love you, it's because they've lost the brain. So, there are some people who just won't ever be normal, but they can be close to normal. They can be, can kind of pass as being somewhat normal. So I think it's incredible improvement with how I have been dumped on by different workers that I've been smart enough to pull back before I gave them a great amount of sum. But this one, I was able to have more patience with and pay him some money because I talked to him a couple times long enough. Plus, I took the time to check his credentials, his web page, his Facebook page, his neighborhood, the neighbor app. And I'm telling you, there was enough evidence that he had a business, his truck. He showed me a picture of his trailer that had the same monogram on it. Did I check his ID? I think I checked his ID even. And he usually only takes Venmo or PayPal, some kind of apps. And I said, well, I can only pay in a check because I'm not going to do those fancy payment plans. And he was like, oh, we talked business for a while. And finally he said, yeah, I'd take a check from you. And I know one of the guys that I didn't go with, he took a check. Sorry, I confess, I did give him a check. But he came back an hour later, said, oh, I can't get this cashed. I'll need to get cash. I'm like, you can't cash a check through this bank? How is that possible? He goes, well, we don't have a local branch, so I can't get it cashed. I said, you can take it to your bank and they'll deposit it for you. Then you write checks or you pay out of your account. But there's no problem with that check. And so that I was able to back out of that without too much freaking out. I knew that if he couldn't cash my check, there was a problem. I like this color. I like this color a lot. You think it's too dark? I don't know. I like it though. I think I'm going to have to order another one of those before they're out of them. And this was moisturizing a little bit. I'm not crazy about SPF. I don't know what that chemical is, but I don't trust it. I know. Don't tell anybody. I sound like a crazy person, but it's true. I just don't really get it. I don't get it. They got all of us using this SPF. I think it's a lot of hype. I know I've been using that baby sunblock SPF, oh gosh, since it first came out. That I've been using it because I had 2nd-degree burns on my face, shoulders, décolleté, and it was miserable. So I've been using it. I don't know. I don't know where I heard it, but I've heard it recently on one of those podcasts where a doctor was saying something about it. That, and they were also talking about how blue light or sitting close to TVs doesn't really cause eye disease. It's just, it overstimulates your brain, so it's harder to fall asleep. So, I mean, something about SPF is, I forgot what they were saying, but I'm not going to use it unless I know I'm going to be out in a pool or I get stranded somewhere. I'm tired of putting chemicals on my face and skin. I've been using coconut oil and castor oil mixed together because castor oil is just so thick, and but mixed together it seems to absorb faster. I've been using that all over. I really like it. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, so anyway, I got a text from my yard guy this morning. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. I'm so relieved. I'm going to use my blue eyeliner again today. Only this time I'm going to put it on before I put on my other mascara, because I had a different liner on last time before I got this. So it looked dark. And I wasn't able to get it down in my lower lashes. What do you think? That's crazy. I guess I'll have to put some brown or something over it. I don't suppose that's going to be... It's really creamy. So I'm not going to be able to not... I must put some kind of powder over it. So should I put gray, brown, or black over it to make it more navy or earthy? Where's my dog? Okay, so The tech said he's going to be here tomorrow. Of course, I'll be with clients, so. But hopefully I'll be able to watch him through my window a little bit. I told him if he wanted it for his webpage, I told him if he wanted to set up a camera, he could do that. Because I noticed he did that on some of his other jobs. It was him physically doing the work. So that was nice. What do you think? I'm a little colorful. That, when I put my lip down yesterday and saw that little bump, I think that's from drinking too much orange juice. I had a friend come and stay for the weekend, a week or so, a little while back, and I've been enjoying the orange juice that we got for breakfast almost every day. Yeah, that eyeliner is just getting messy all over the place. I'm gonna have to do something. What am I gonna put on it? Aww, I should do this live so I can get your opinion. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use the darkest gray I have, which is more like a medium gray. It's not a dark gray. It's medium to dark gray. Okay. That'll quieten it down a little bit too. There we go. Okay. I may not look best in this lip color, but I sure like it. I sure like it. I like more of a... I have a gnat in my house. You know, I have so many floaters in my eyes from being hit in the head from a very young age that sometimes I don't believe when I see a gnat. But yes, I saw it. I'm so excited about him coming to work in the yard tomorrow. I was going to also share something is I had an old friend call me today. I hear from her once every few months, twice a year, sometimes depending on what's going on. And I know I said friend, but she was, well, what do I have to lose? She was a client for years, and I was not her friend. But she kept checking in with me every few months, at least a couple times a year, for a very long time now, because she had started doing so much better, and she just didn't need me anymore. So when I moved, I encouraged her to get another therapist, in case she needed one that was local, someone she could really learn to depend on and have a trusting relationship, because she had had a lot of trauma. Oh my God, she was so fun. I knew when I met her that I knew what she was going through. Now, she was a little rougher and more, even more masculine thinking than I was, because she had been an athlete and she was born looking more masculine. But she made it very clear within our first few sessions that she was not gay, and it hurt her feelings that she was considered looking like a dyke. She knew that those things were being said about her, but she disagreed with them. Where is my eyebrow pencil? Ooh. What happened? Where's my eyebrow pencil? You know what? I may have thrown it away. Look at that. I'm losing my mind. Because, it just was so orange. Huh. Well, I am losing my mind, I guess. I thought if you lost your mind, you wouldn't know it. Other people would know it. But you wouldn't. Isn't that the way it's supposed to go? I don't know. Okay, so what was I going to tell you? Yeah, I started a story. Can't remember it now. What was it? I don't know. All I know is I'm not going to lunch today with my friend. Dang it. Yeah, I want to get to know her better. I like her sense of humor so far. She's a little twisted. Oh, I was telling you about my friend, or my client, who turned into a friend. In a way that we don't call each other, I don't call her to buddy up. Hey, how you doing? It's more of she calls me every so often to check in. And the friend part, I think, was a Freudian slip because I really do care about her. I've always cared about her. When I first met her, she came in very masculine, jeans, sweatshirt, more masculine tennis shoes. Oh, dang, that eyeliner is really mooky. It's really mooky. Look at how it's leaving. I'm going to use a lighter gray. A little bit lighter gray to kind of try to build a, yeah, mixing with that dark blue is, see how that, It is moist. Yep, it is moist. Well, there's not a lot I can do about it now. Just blend it a little bit. Anyway, I remember her coming in telling me, I've had other therapists and they didn't do this and they did that, and this long list. Because I asked her, what brings you to a new therapist, and how can I help you? And she was just like, I just need someone I can talk to and vent to, someone I'm not gonna scare, someone I don't have to worry about cringing when I cuss or when I tell my story, and I don't have to tell you my whole story, and you're not in charge of me. And oh my goodness, just she just wanted someone to be her person, you know, so badly. But she wasn't going to settle for less than what she wanted or more than what she wanted. And when she left my office that day, she's going out the door, and it's a big, heavy door. It was a 1920s, like, glass, you know, that rippled, and that dark wood, and it's a beautiful building. But my point is the lighting and it just was like that 1920s thug look. She's going out the door and she looks over and she goes, I'll come back one more time. And she did that. I saw her once or twice a week for a year before we went down to once a week. She had an enormous amount of PTSD, self-image issues. But she had a lot of strength too. If it came to other people, and I can once again relate with her, is you can be spot on. But when it comes to yourself, you can just be blind. And just, well, almost stupid. Sorry. She was clever, kind of funny, kind of crude. I wasn't ever very, very crude, seldom crude. I don't know. Look at all that eyeshadow and lipstick. That lipstick's too dark, huh? So yeah, I'm hoping that little white bump will go away. I think it's just a little acid cyst. One that was kind of gross. Sorry. I shouldn't have shown. I didn't know it was there. I wouldn't have shown it to you. I've been feeling a little guilty about that. I hope I didn't. None of you went spinning. But I'll probably have to go to the dentist here one of these days. So if it's not gone, I've had those acid cysts on my tongue, maybe on a lip area before, but I knew instantly what it was from. I forgot I was even drinking that orange juice because I mix it half and half now with another juice, so it's not so acidic. But the other day I was just craving it. And I forgot I did that until last night when I was brushing my teeth. I thought, oh, that's a orange juice acid bump. I think I got, anyway, so back to this client. So now when I don't hear from her, kind of miss her. I like hearing from her. Well, what else? So after I saw her, she kept saying, I'll see you next week. But I'm not making any promises about the week after. Or I'll see you one more week. But it was usually something to let me know I passed a test one more time. Yeah, kind of mobster. It was cute. But the first time she said it, I was like, oh, she likes me. I love it when hardcore gangster kind of people feel safe with me. It's a compliment. And when I mean gangster too, it doesn't always mean like a gang. It could mean someone who has seen a lot, or the first responders, gangsters, ex-gangsters, people have lived in a rough, ghetto type situation. It's an honor. It took me a long time to allow myself to really open up. It took a while. I had therapist after therapist who thought I was pretty, I was funny, I was cute, I was so tiny. They felt protective, parental, or like, oh, you poor thing. I mean, it was just that pity was just, ugh. So I wouldn't go back. I never thought about going back. It was like, well, that didn't work out until that I hit another bottom. Then I tried again. It wasn't anything I really took seriously until I got one counselor, and I thought, this counselor is really working with me. So I'm going to listen. And I always knew I could quit. But I thought, I'm going to go back because I'm curious what's going to be said next. I didn't know. But I thought, I want to find out. That's pretty cool. So, I don't know if any of y'all have a friend or work with someone or your counselor, and you have some hardcore people who keep coming back to you, and they're even growing a little bit. That's an honor. That's an honor. I heard from her today, and she's having some more health issues, and it just breaks my heart that she has to go through that. It's too bad. I don't like hearing that, but you know, when we talk about, like, it's kind of scary thinking about death, and this girl's tough, like I told you, she's gangsta, ex-gangsta, and she's like, no, she goes, I take it in stride. She goes, but when she saw her partner's face, when they were trying to treat her on the floor, I guess, she said that touched her. That was very touching. And I thought that was neat that she was able to take in her, you know, something important in the environment. She says she's been being nicer. Even nicer. Oh, God, that's a story and a half. Well, crap. I wish I didn't have stuff I should be doing. Because if I start another story, well, let me see. Oh, I'll tell you one story that happened with her. We got to a certain part in our, it was about 18 months in. And I know that because that's what she reminds me of once in a while when we're talking. But she did remind me of that many times when she finally got to the other side. But I finally convinced her to take a plan of withdrawal from a substance seriously. And so we made an agreement that she was going to do it. And, well, it wasn't that smooth. I told her at about 18 months in, and I knew she had told me that I was the first therapist she has trusted to talk about lots of stuff. So I finally got to a point where it's like, I know now that she's taking so many pain meds. I mean, she was really not taking opiates just for the pain. She was taking them to survive. So I started talking to her about that. And then she showed up in my office a couple times in a row where I was like picking up on, she's loaded. So I told her, I love working with you. It means a lot to me, but you coming here stoned is putting my license at risk. So I have to choose between me or you doing something you know you need to change anyway. So why should I lose my license when I'm doing good, and for the sake of you continuing to do what you're doing and you know it's wrong for your soul? Oh, she was mad. I told her, you're not, if you come to my office like this again, I'm not going to see you. I'm going to call you a cab. And if I find out you're in an accident and they want to know from me whether you were out of your mind or not, I'm not going to, I'm not going to say anything, because I don't narc on people. Plus, you're a client, right? I can't tell them that kind of stuff. And I won't. I'll stay out of it. Unless they subpoena me, and I'm going to lose my license. And once again, I'm not going to lose my license against you. And just think about it. If you kill someone's kid, I mean, I really read her the riot act, and she could see how upset I was. I was really upset. So anyway, she finally agreed. She wasn't straight, but she finally, I mean, I was glad I guess she wasn't in a blackout, but she was slurring a little bit, And she finally agreed to start with a plan that I had for her to break her medication in half and then break those in half. So the first 4 days, she took 3/4 of her prescription 3 times a day with nothing else. No extracurricular, oh, I'm just going to take one because I'm having a bad day. No, I'm going to take another one because I'm anxious. Or wait, first it was only take as needed. No, I'm sorry. Only take what the prescription said, which was, I think this was a long time ago. I said for 2 days. And that should cut you down quite a bit. I mean it. No more than what the prescription actually says. And then at our next appointment, we talked about taking 3/4 for 4 days. And then we talked about taking 2/4, 1/2 dose at the prescription schedule until it was down to 1. Now, I made it clear to her, and I'll make it clear to you. I'm not a doctor. She probably should have gone to her medical doctor to talk to them about this. And I think she did. And I told her to let him know. I don't know that we had pictures in our cameras at that cameras. I think I had a camera in my phone, but she didn't have one in hers. She had the old-fashioned flip phone. She thought they were harder to trace. I don't know. But anyway, I said, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm telling you, I have worked in an inpatient treatment center, outpatient treatment center, halfway houses. I have a master's degree in addiction studies, and I think this is a wise way to try to get you off this medication without throwing you into emotional shock. Physically, you could probably get off of these pretty darn quick, but I want you to have a soft landing, because that's why I think a lot of people who get off opiates struggle, is because everybody says, well, they're not that, what do they say? The withdrawal isn't that bad. You know, the life, what's the word for it? Time life of the medication doesn't stay in your body very long. So your body can be clear of it and not go into some kind of shock or seizures and personally, I don't believe that that's a healthy way to do it, because opiates really, really, really make people feel like there's a lot of cotton between them and the rest of the world. And people who have had trauma especially really like that feeling. Or people who have had a lot of physical pain really like knowing they're not going to feel pain. Whether the pain keeps coming back or not, the brain is so addicted to just taking this chemical. It doesn't matter what this chemical does for you. Your brain wants that chemical. It's pretty mysterious. But anyway, this was a long time ago when I really stayed up on all that stuff and had stronger opinions than I do now. Can you believe it? So she actually followed the protocol and was able to successfully get off and stay off, other than taking as prescribed. And she was always proud of herself for taking less than she needed, or less than what was prescribed, because she says she didn't need it. She was a tough gal. She didn't need a lot of pain meds. She could power through, and she did not want to have to go through that again. The embarrassment she had. We worked through the shame and we got rid of that. She was very open-minded, which was such a plus. But she was heartbroken that she would drive like that and could have hurt someone else, including her family, her grandkids. She used to love to babysit. But her kids were just like, I don't want to leave my grandkids with you anymore. And so we took care of that just in time. She was able to get right back in pretty well, because they loved her. Love her. She's still here. And then, let's see, I guess it was in year 3 of our working together. We worked together quite a while. She had an anger issue with one particular person in her life. And it took up a lot of our time. Because it was her husband, right? He was around all the time, or a lot. I mean, he was still working full time back then. And, but he'd get home and she would treat him like he was her bitch. I mean, she was the queen or king, because she came across so strong. And it was getting cruel to watch. Her mouth, ooh, dang. So I told her, I said, here's what's going on. I was getting older, I had gotten to know her, gone through a lot. And I was like, you know what? You wouldn't treat anybody else like this. And I had said it several times, until finally one day I told her, I am not making you any more appointments. I've asked you to go to anger management. See, anger management courses can't be done, in my opinion, individually with one therapist. It has to be done in a group. Because when you see people behave in a certain way and you're sharing feedback and you're getting feedback, you're gaining insight to how you come across. There's nothing more healing than group therapy, a family coming from the same place, trying to go to the same place. It's amazing. So anyway, I told her, I'm not going to ask you again. I'm telling you, you don't get to make another appointment at all until you have completed a 6-week program. because I had already bribed her. I will continue seeing you while you go through that. I'll even reduce your therapy price because her insurance wasn't going to pay for that. Anger management. I said, I will work around your schedule. I will get you in. No, I don't need it. No, hell no. Oh, argumentative. F you, no. And then when I said, I'm just not going to do it. And oh my God, I thought she was going to hunt me down. I was a little concerned about it, to tell you the truth. To be completely honest with you, I was. But here's what happened. She decided, she told me, she goes, I was so mad at you. She said, I just was floored. But she went. And she touched base with me every few days to tell me how it was going. And evidently, she was sharing things that she was learning in session, and they made, the staff loved her. So she kept going on her dime. They charged her a minimal fee for showing up, like $10, or they let her come by free. I can't remember. Once she graduated the program, they were so proud of her, and that she helped with what she was sharing in group. She continued going until she couldn't do the drive anymore. She just did great. She was so happy that I put down my foot with her, because nobody had ever put their foot down with her like I did. And she really respects me. She appreciates me. And she's one of my favorite people on the planet. Yeah, to be able to watch someone grow the way she has. And now, when we were talking earlier, she brought that up again. And she was just like, somehow brought up, well, I don't yell at my husband, like, because since she saw his face, she felt like, hi babe, you gonna keep it up? Quit. Since she saw his face when they were working on her, and she said he looked so forlorn, she said it touched her so much. She says, and I haven't yelled at him for a long time. Well, since you sent me to that anger management. It was so cute. And he hasn't yelled at me as much since this happened. Okay. Because she wasn't yelling and screaming and one-upping him all the time, but she admitted she was still being snarky. And snarky can be pretty aggravating. And he would yell because he wasn't a snarky person. Normally he could be a little Frankie! He could be kind of passive aggressive, but he wasn't snarky. Hi, pup. Hi, do you want to say hi? Want to say hi? You want to say hi? Jump. Yeah. Jump. Jump. Come on. Come on, jump. Good boy. So yeah, that was sort of the highlight of my morning, is getting to have that conversation with her, bringing back so many good memories. Oh, okay, one more story with her. I could write a little book on this one, at least a whole chapter. Jeez. Oh, some of the fun we've had. So, because she was so butch, we were talking about when she got clean and sober, and she went through so many growing pains that we finally got to the place where we were talking about her image. you know, like the shoes she wore, the clothes she wore, that made her look even more masculine. Her hair, makeup. I mean, she didn't wear any makeup normally. I never saw her in makeup until we decided to take a shopping trip together, as because part of what I do, especially with people healing their past, which very often could mean, oh, I love it when he touches me. Look at his little paws on me. It also means sometimes healing your image with the community, with your family, with yourself. And so part of our plan started to be improving her physical image, losing some weight, changing her clothes, maybe her hairstyle, and maybe just a little tiny bit of makeup, because she was very tomboy. And it was part of her charm, really. If she didn't look like so male physically, I mean, if she didn't look so male physically, she actually looked almost androgynous, kind of like on Saturday Night Live, that Pat. But when we went shopping, picked out a couple items of clothing, just a couple tops that she could wear with her normal jeans, and we picked out a pair of shoes that were tennis shoe, walking shoe, but they were a little more feminine than the manly shoes that she was wearing. Let's see, what else? I don't remember what else we got, but I know we had a wonderful time. We did. I mean, I truly liked and was excited about her journey and her as a person. She was a good person. And I've always liked the biker type personalities. I like that loyalty. You know, when you don't grow up with a family and someone from a gang or club or sorority or community service group likes you or takes you in or trusts you, it feels good. So it was an honor. It was an honor for her to trust me with these different levels of her growth. It got to where you could not mistake her for a dude or butch. It was, now you could tell, oh, she's just a tomboy, you know? And that's important to a feminine woman or a woman, period, if that's not what they are in their heart, right? Like if someone said I was a tomboy, I wouldn't have a problem with that because I know how feminine I look. If someone called me butch, I wouldn't have a problem with it because of how feminine I look. I'd just be like, I would feel like it was a compliment because I like being seen as sort of a badass, right? I did when I was younger. I don't care now. Don't give a shit. But it hurt her feelings because that's not who she felt she was on the inside. She loved being a grandma. She loved being a mom. She loved taking care of her home. I mean, there was a part of her who loved being a badass, but mostly she was a badass as a cover-up for some horrible things that she survived and lived through and had seen, you know, where she had to be strong. So it was wonderful watching her blossom. Hey, what are you doing? It's wonderful watching you blossom. You know, he has been the same exact dog since I met him. He's confident in his own skin. He's attentive. He's been the same dog since the first day. You know where they say, oh, some dogs blossom when you get them from the shelter. Not him. He just came in like, okay, here we are. Huh. He's such a good boy. Oh, God, he's so pretty. He's such a handsome little boy. I've had him for 3 years now. And they thought he was about 2 when I got him. And I was thinking about Molly. You've seen our old Australian Shepherd. We got her just before him. So we've had her for 3 years. And they thought she was around 3 to 5 years then. And looking back on it, it's like, oh my gosh. I think she's kind of like my previous dog, Lucky, who they thought he was young. And I just don't believe it. He only lasted 5 years before he passed away. So he had to have been at least 5 when we got him. Probably 7. So I'm concerned about Molly. She's acting like a very old lady. She's acting like Lucky did in his last year or 2. Only she's grumpy. Lucky wasn't grumpy like that. But he went after, well, I would say 2 years before he passed. Except that she's grumpy. You know, it seems achy and painy for her to stand up and lay down, to get up on the sofa, things like that. Well, I think I've been stalling because it's so darn cold and muddy out. I don't want to go outside. And I thought it was going to be warmer today, so I wallowed in being lazy yesterday. So now I got to do something today. I can do the floors again and some laundry. Oh my God, I've been talking an hour. All right, y'all. Hope you have a great day. And spoil yourself a little bit today. I think that would be a good idea. I'm going to go thaw out some food too. Maybe I'll think about cooking something. All right. Bye for now.